Hello everyone! Okay, in this video, we are going to talk about literal equations. Okay. So when we say literal equations, these are equations that express relationships among variables. So this means that we will see more than one variable in this type of equation because this type of equation shows the relationship between two or more different variables. Okay? For example, we have E equal to mc squared, which is the formula for energy. Y equal to mx plus b, which is the formula for linear equation. And P equal to 2L plus 2W, which is the formula in finding the perimeter. So, usually, literal equations are formula or represents formulas. But not, of course, not all literal equations are always formula. This can just be um, two or more variables that are related to each other, that are not specifically formulas. Okay? So, now, if we are going to solve linear equations, it means we are going to find the value of that specific linear equation in terms of another variable, or we will get the value of a variable in terms of the other variable. Okay, so we cannot really obtain um, uh, a real number answer if we are solving for a literal equation, or if we are solving literal equation, because again, as I mentioned, um, the literal equations are or relates one variable to another variable. So if we will solve a literal equation, our answer would still consist of variables. Okay? So for example, I have this literal equation, F equal to P plus PRT. And we need to solve for R. Okay. Yung nakalagay dito, this is the variable that we need to solve now. Usually, if a formula represent if the literal equation represent a formula, we can derive another formula by solving for the variable. So that is why we are solving literal equations. How do we get that specific variable, just in case we don't know the other variables yet? Okay, just like for this one, we are solving for R. Okay, so if we are solving linear equations, what we do is to put all the variables on one side and all the real numbers on the other side. But since this consists of variables and no constant, so what we do is we just isolate the term with the specific variable that we are looking for. So in this case, we will isolate PRT since it has R, which we need to solve. Okay? So remember, when we apply addition property of equality, we can just when we apply it, what happens is the term will be on the other side of the equation but opposite the given sign. Okay? So this P will be negative P equal to PRT. If we are solving, hindi naman necessarily kailangan yung that variable that we are solving will be on the left, will be on the right. Pwede namang nasa right, then just apply symmetric property in the end. Okay? So, now we have here PRT. We just need to solve for R. So, we will divide both sides by PT. Okay? So, we have now R on this side. This is F minus P all over PT. Just apply symmetric property. R is F minus P all over PT. Or, since meron siyang common dito, we can write it as F over PT minus 1 over T. Okay? So So this is the value of r, which is in terms of the other variable. Okay? Let us have another example. Okay, we have A equals length width. You are familiar with the formula, no? Kasi formula siya for finding the area. Okay, we are solving for L. So, we can divide both sides by W. So, we have here A over W is equal to L. Or, applying symmetric property, L is equal to A over W. Okay? Next, let's have another example. Okay? X is equal to 2y plus 5. And we are solving for y. Now, not all literal equations represent specific formulas. This can be just equations, but normally it consists of more than one variable, such as this one. So, this has x and y. We are solving for y, so the answer will be in terms of x. Okay? We need to isolate y. Since y here is positive, we can just move all the other terms on the left so that it is already positive. So this is x minus 5. That is by applying addition property of equality. Okay, that is equal to 2y. Divide both sides by 2. Y is equal to x minus 5 over 2. Or we can write it as x over 2 minus 5 over 2. Okay, let us have another example. Anong number na ba tayo? Number 4. A x plus 2 equal to cx. We are solving for A. Okay, so ax equal to cx minus 2. We divide both sides by x because we are solving for A. A is cx minus 2 all over x, or we can simplify that further. That is c minus 2 all over x. Mas ko lang konti. So, this is our answer. Okay, let us have another example. Number 5. Okay, V is equal to LWH. We are solving for W. Okay, so we just divide both sides by LH by applying multiplication property of equality. So, you multiply by 1 over LH. That is V over LH equal to W, symmetric property, V over LH. Okay, of course, in all our literal equations, we are assuming that all the denominators, should there be any denominator, would not be equal to 0 because we cannot divide a number by 0. Okay, another example. We have 1 over A plus 1 over B equal to 1 over 2. So, we are solving for A. Okay, this is an example of an equation which consists of fraction. Anong gagawin natin dito? We can multiply by the LCD. Since we don't really know the value of A and B, so the LCD will be 2AB. We multiply both sides of the equation by 2AB. I use a different colored pen para alam nyo na yung black yun yung original na equation. So, we multiply both sides of the equation by 2AB. This term is now 2B plus this term is equal to 2A. And this term is equal to AB. Okay, since we are solving for A, we put all the variables with A on one side and all the other term on the other side. Okay, so this is 2A minus AB equal to negative 2B. Okay, we are solving for A, remember? So we factor out A. Since we have to solve for A, and we can see here that A is a common factor of 2A and negative AB, we can factor out A. We now have here 2 minus B, and that is equal to negative 2B. Okay, so we divide both sides by 2 minus B, and 2 minus B. Our answer is, taas ko lang konti. A is equal to negative 2B all over 2 minus B. Okay? So, by the way, in this equation, if what we did is we transferred or we move B on we move 2A on this side and 2B is positive. So, yung answer natin will be in the form, this will be positive. Kasi nga ako nandito siya. But 2 minus B, the denominator is not 2 minus B, it will be B minus 2, which is just the same as this one. Okay. So, this can either be, sige, I'll just write it here on the side para at least alam niya yung ibig ko sabihin. Dito na lang. Yan. Kasi ito, from this one, if what we did is 2B and then this is equal to AB minus 2A. So, we applied addition property of equality, but instead of putting all terms with A on the left and other term on the right, what I did here is I put all the terms with A on the right, which is still the same. Okay? So, this is equal to 2B equal to AB minus 2A. We will still factor out A here on this side. So, this is B minus 2. Okay? We will still divide both sides by B minus 2. B minus 2. So, 2B over B minus 2 is equal to A. Or by applying symmetric property, sige, liitan ko konti so that we can see the whole solution. A is equal to 2B all over B minus 2. This value is also equal to this value. Okay, kasi there are cases wherein negative, when we solve, sometimes we don't like negative in the numerator or the denominator. So this, if you have this and you want to eliminate the negative, we can just divide or multiply both the numerator and denominator by negative 1 and we will get this value. Still same value. Okay, same fraction. Remember, we can always multiply a fraction to any number as long as we multiply both the numerator and denominator. Still we can find this, we still obtain the same value for that fraction. Ayan. From this, if we will multiply by negative 1 both the numerator and denominator, we will also get this. So either if of the two is accepted as correct answer. Okay. Sige, we can have another example. We'll have another example. Number 7. P is equal to 4S. Solve 4S. Huwag na ilagay yung word na solve. 4S. So, we just divide both sides by 4. Okay? So, P over 4 is equal to S, or S is equal to P over 4. Okay, let's have one last example. Number 8. Yan. So, this is A equal to 1/2 times age times quantity A plus B. And we are solving for H. Okay? So, we can multiply both sides by 2 to eliminate the fraction. Okay? So, we have 2A equal to H times quantity A plus B. We divide both sides by A plus B. We have 2 capital A all over A plus B equal to H symmetric property. Okay? So, that is how you solve literal equations. Your answer would still consist of variables because we are just solving the required variable in terms of another variables. Okay? So, that's the end of our discussion. Thank you for watching. Bye!